Hello, my name is Hai. I am currently working at L3. I've been there for about 4 years, and I've learned a lot working there. And I've also learned, most importantly, that I want to be the production manager or the supply chain manager. Over the years that I've been there, I've evolved from starting in accounting, working in the accounts receivable department, and scanning paperwork and through a staffing agency. And over the years, we've lost many employees, whether or not they left or jobs have been reduced. Um, but I've picked up a lot of things along the way and learned to adapt and learned to figure out what I like to do. I started to work in planning. I work in the shipping and receiving department, and I work in several different departments there. And I've learned a lot over the years. I've learned what I really enjoy, and I've learned that I don't enjoy accounting as much. I have many years of schooling in accounting, but it's a hard field. There's not much leeway. There's not much adaptation. Everything's pretty much always the same, and you're always trying to fit everything into one ideal. What I enjoy about supply chain manager is that you get to plan on what to do, plan on how to run a department, plan on how to run a production line, plan on how to design everything on the floor, on how you want everything. And over these last couple years, I've learned that I really enjoy that. I've been trained in Six Sigma, green belt training. I've also have hazardous waste and material training, and IATA training for shipping hazardous goods. And because of all the changes we've had at the company, I've been able to pick up these skills and these trades, and they've really helped influence my determination and focus myself. And that's why I started to go back to school. I went back to school because I need a degree. You learn over the years of being in the workforce that maybe I should have gone to school a little longer, and learned what I wanted to do. So I've learned over the years that I really enjoy the production side of things. Um, the other thing that's very important with me is my family. I have two young boys and a beautiful wife, and they dictate the reason why I want to work and succeed and get a better job and advance in the company so that I can support them and that I can help them and care for them. So being there for them and providing money, providing support, everything I can for them is very crucial to me. Um, I learned being in the laser rangefinder business. I deal with a lot of engineers, which ironically is what I was identified as working in, which I don't really agree with. I just don't have the mindset for an engineer. I don't have the creative side. I like to figure out how things work and repeat that. I enjoy finding better ways to make things work faster and better, but designing entire production lines, and designing how a laser runs is just not for me, and it probably will never be. But working with these people has made me appreciate that and learning how they do things, and how their minds work. A lot of very creative, intelligent minds work in the engineering field, and being around them allows my brain to fire on all cylinders and keep motivated. Um, so I've learned over the years what I want to do and the job I want. So I've since gone back to school, which is the reason I'm here, and I've been working on my associates, and then I will be working on my bachelor's starting next semester. Um, I'm doing that through the company because they are actually covering my schooling to try to get a degree for me. so that I can advance inside the company, because they believe in me and trust that I can really help the company succeed and get further along. I originally was hired through a staffing agency, like I said, and I was actually just scanning paperwork. I would come home and tell my wife, hey, my job all day is to just sit here, grab some papers, put it in the scanner, scan it, make sure everything's correct, and that was my day, every day. And it was literally starting from the ground. So I started working there, and they realized I had a lot of accounting experience previously. So they started having me help with accounts receivable and then accounts payable. Over time, I started to take over payroll, and became almost a large bulk of the accounting department. Since then, they have moved that department to another sector. So instead of getting rid of me, they saw potential in me and decided to move me into the stockroom, and taking over the stockroom. And since then, I've also added planning. I've added shipping and receiving, and I've added facilities. And I started working, literally picking up every possible thing I can, because it doesn't hurt to know more. It doesn't hurt to show an employer that you know more. So I've since picked up as much as I possibly could. And also with schooling now, putting myself in line to become the supply chain manager. The functions of a supply chain manager is somebody that makes sure all the production parts are in, that we don't overpay, that we don't have too much excess of anything. Should we have anything go wrong, maybe a lens has been scratched and we have to scrap it out, well, usually at least one or two. If you know previously over the years on a certain production, the bonding on a certain lens has just always given the company problems, and you've had to scrap 5 lenses for every 10 production line units you've built, then you have to know that you have to have 15, and at least have a scrap level of 50%. So I've learned to figure out how to do the planning, figure out how to support the buyers, and make sure they're keeping everything in line. I've also learned line of balance, making sure everything's in a correct spot, where during production, and production schedules, and to make sure you are never late on a delivery. If you have 6 months to build, where you need to be halfway, where you need to be in 2 weeks left, all the way down to knowing you have to ship it within 6 days, and that's your dead drop point, where anywhere later it's going to be late. So I've learned over the years a lot about the company, a lot about the job and how to succeed. And because of that, I've learned exactly what job I want, and there's no question for me. So now it's just about getting the degree and making sure I'm right there, ready to go, and that's where I'll be in 2 years. So see you there.